Hi again. This is Psalm 91, God's Shield of Protection by Peggy Joyce Ruth. Chapter 14. The title is Because I Love Him. Because He's loved me, therefore I will deliver him. Psalm 91, verse 14. That's Psalm 91, verse 14. In verses 14 through 16, the psalm moves from talking in the third person about God's promises to God speaking to us personally from his secret place and announcing his promises himself in the first person. It is a dramatic shift in tone as it moves to God speaking prophetically to each one of us directly, denoting significantly more depth in the relationship. In these 3 verses, he gives 7 promises, which as much open triumph as a man has when a woman accepts his proposal. Setting your love involves choice. When you pick that person out of all the others, you set your love on that one and you embark on a deeper relationship. That is the picture of how God sets his love. Love is the cohesiveness that binds man to God, and God will be faithful to his beloved. Love always requires presence and nearness. Special memories are birthed out of relationship. That is why this action cannot be explained but has to be experienced. Many of us has watched in horror when a child picked up a newborn kitten by the throat and carried it all over the yard and wondered how the kitten ever survived. We had an old red hen that endured distress from our very enthusiastic children. Old Red allowed herself to be picked up while the process of laying her egg and deposited right in Angie's eager little hands. The children had some merit to what they advertised as the freshest eggs in town. There were a few times when an egg never hit the nest. Nesting season had its own special fascination for the children, as they watched Old Red try to hatch more eggs than she could sit on. The kids would number the eggs in pencil to ensure each egg was properly rotated and kept warm. They would wait out the 21 days and then with contagious delight call me out to see the nest swarming with little ones. That old hen had a brood of chicks that was hatched out of eggs from every hen in the hen house. Observing a setting hen this closely had his own rare charm, as one could witness the protection she gave those chicks in a way most people never had the chance to observe. I remember her feathers as she fanned them out. I remember the smell of fresh straw the kids kept in the nest. I remember that I could see through the soft, downy underside and see the rhythmic beating of her heart. Those chicks had almost an enviable position, something all those books on the theology of protection can never explain in mere words. This was the unforgettable picture of a real-life understanding of what it meant to be under the wings. Those were some happy chicks. This lets one see in a much more intimate way, that true protection has everything to do with closeness. Some people acknowledge that there is a God. Others know him. Neither maturity, nor education, nor family heritage, nor even living a lifetime as a nominal Christian can make a person know him. Only an encounter with the Lord and time spent with him will cause us to lay hold of the promises in these verses. We need to ask ourselves daily, do I really love him? Jesus even asked this of Peter, who was a close disciple. Simon, do you love me? This is in John 21, verse 15. John chapter 21, verse 15. Can you imagine how Peter must have felt when Jesus questioned him 3 times? Simon, or Peter, do you love me? Even so, we need to question ourselves, because these promises are made only to those who have genuinely set their love on him. Take a special note of the fact that these 7 promises are reserved for those who return his love. Remember, the Lord said in John 14:15, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments." Our obedience is an extremely reliable telltale sign that shows us we really love him. Do you love him? If you do, these promises are for you.